welcome back to the studio. With that match, we say goodbye to the last of the teams from this tournament that are not going to make it into the money. Cold Inside going out in 4th place. Thingy ensuring themselves at least a top 3 spot here.
Yeah, I mean, and with that kind of performance, it's going to be very difficult for WeHurt to beat them tomorrow.
Definitely.
I think there's a very good chance that we could see a Thingy Warlords rematch in the final, see the practice partners coming up against each other again, which is, of course, the series that went to 3 matches
So
earlier.
these are very serious teams. I would be surprised if they don't have setups that the other one doesn't know about.
Yeah.
Some secret stuff that they're going to pull out in the last match.
I have a feeling that maybe Warlords of the Deep were that happy with their performance that they're just going like, let's kick off our shoes, have a beer, and go to bed early tonight. But I have a feeling that Thingy and WeHurt are gonna be like, yeah, all right, let's do a team meeting and talk a little bit about what we're gonna do tomorrow because they need to get into the finals if they want to make it higher than 3rd place. So we have the stats ready for the match for this last match. Cold Inside versus Thingy. Thingy again, bringing a super fun setup. 4 bombers.
Yeah, 4 bombers, 2 claymores, a Sleipnir. That's a massive amount of damage. This is probably the highest damage team we've seen, and we've seen triple Vindicators.
Yes. The damage bar was so big.
So we actually haven't seen many of the T1 logistics cruisers so far throughout the tournament. Do you think they're going to be making a stronger play as we've seen logistics sort of fall back a little bit in importance in comparison to previous tournaments?
I actually think that in this case, it was just the necessity of you could only fit this kind of ridiculous points into a setup if you have a Tech 1 Logic Cruiser. Obviously, they're much more vulnerable. Like if coming up against a Dominic's or Ishtar team, although you ban those out, they'd get shredded. But there's a lot of things that would also shred them. Other Sentry setups kill them very effectively. You see the Fleet Foons, given enough time, would have been able to kill them very quickly.
Very quickly with enough time.
With enough time, would have been able to bring him down overnight. Like there's basically no way he would have been able to survive in the long game. But this team just doesn't need it because you're just going to crack through stuff.
No one's playing long game with you.
This is also a team, when you think about it, think about how teams beat a Marauder. Every team in this tournament needs to have a plan for how you beat a Marauder team. With this one, it's just wreck them. Just like run right into them and burn through them. And there's no Marauder that can tank that.
So we actually have the schedule here up on the screen that we can see for tomorrow. The final day of this second New Eden Open, starting off with a best out of 3 between Thingy and WeHurt, and then going into a best out of 5, or best out of 4, because we have a 1 match advantage for
Warlords.
Yes.
So it's a bit of an unusual setup we use for our tournaments here. Because we use both best of series and a double elimination set, the way we actually run our finals is that it's a best of 5 technically between the team that is still in the winner's bracket and the winner of the loser's bracket finals. But the team that hasn't lost the series yet comes into it 1 match up, so they get 1 free win off the start.
So we have a maximum of 4 matches there. So for a team...
There's not a maximum of 4 matches.
In that series.
There's so Warlords could...
No, it's a maximum of 4 matches.
There's a maximum of 4 matches.
Math.
It's all right.
Maths.
So
I hate all of you.
Let's say that losers bracket finals series goes 3 matches, and then the finals go to all matches. That's potentially 7 matches in one day for one of the teams there. And that is just insane pressure.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, we did see teams pull that off in the last Alliance tournament. We saw PL have to do that, but they almost buckled under the pressure.
A best of 5 series is the only time we've ever seen Warlords of the Deep, the Hydra team, falter in any sort of tournament. This in the past 2 years.
Yeah. And I mean, we saw them. They had a 2-0 lead. Ended up going 3 wins for PL in a row, taking the victory. Maybe best of 5s are Hydra's or Warlords kryptonite.
We've also seen them have a bit of trouble with best of 5s in the SCL actually as well. So they've had some issues there. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they do against either Thingy or WeHurt. Both of them obviously very strong teams, but both of them are teams that Warlords has already beaten. So we know Warlords can beat these 2 teams because we've seen them beat them in the last week.
Didn't they beat PL as well?
Yep. I
They
mean,
put PL down into the losers bracket during the Alliance tournament, and they were like, "Yeah, we've seen them beat them." And then PL just came back and
Yep.
took 3 in a row. And
there's definitely no guarantees in a tournament.
Well,
like
they
this.
also don't have what is so one of the geniuses of the Hydra team is Garmin. He's usually the team captain, but tends to get a little overconfident, especially versus Pandemic Legion in the case of the last Alliance tournament, but against many different teams that he thinks his team was just flat out better than them. But without that hubris, Hard SP is the captain for this New Eden Open. He doesn't give anybody any slack. He's going to ruthlessly murder anyone that comes up against him as best he can.
Yep. I mean, they've got a lot of really excellent tournament theory crafters and pilots, very experienced players, and they're honestly going to be extremely hard to beat. I think they definitely have to be the odds-on favorites, but it's always going to be fun to watch somebody try to unseat them.
Yep. You know what? One thing is for sure. Tomorrow is going to be an amazing day of matches.
Yes.
It's going to be insanely fun. We're going to have the live studio audience for the first time in EVE's online tournament history. It's going to be absolutely epic.
One way or another, the live studio audience will be epic.
Yes, the live studio audience will be there.
It will be memorable.
I might get punched in the face. We might have a riot. Who knows? It'll be great.
The room will be full of drunk Icelanders.
There is tremendous amounts of beer and pizza coming to the studio tomorrow, so we'll be sure to have a good time.
Yep. So our broadcast is starting tomorrow at
16:40.
16:40 is our first match, so we'll start 10 minutes before that. So at 16:30 we will be live with a room full of people. I wish you all are going to join us tomorrow. So I'm guessing you're all going to join us tomorrow. If you're watching the tournament now, you wouldn't miss the finals, would you?
Still time to book your flights if you want to be in the live audience.
We'll all be very disappointed if you don't show up, if you don't come watch us. I mean, like, deep down, it matters to me greatly.
Break.
I'll sit in that corner and cry if any one of you miss it. Anyone.
Anyone.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to see CCP Fozzie cry, then please tune into the stream tomorrow. From Fozzie, Dolan, and myself here in the studio, have a good night.